Hello and welcome back. Today's video is another Shop My Stash makeup basket video. I usually do these every other week and I like to rotate. I pick about 4 items at a time. I don't pick too many because I'm also doing project pans and things like that, so I don't want to get overwhelmed. 4 seems to be a good number. First half of the video, I'm going to recap last time's products, and then the second half, I will be picking new products. I'm also excited because I did rearrange a lot of my makeup drawers since my last Shop My Stash video, and I have a whole Shop My Stash playlist if you're interested in seeing that. Let's get into the video. I had picked a highlighter and that was Ofra Beverly Hills. I love the Ofra formula. It's super intense. And yeah, this is one of those multicolored ones. And I'm wearing this today as a highlighter. I have mixed these 3 shades, which is usually my go-to, one of these 3 or combining them. I really like the Ofra highlighters. I've talked about them a lot, but they're super intense. You know, they're not an everyday highlighter, more of like a weekend highlighter, if you will. But I really do like this formula. It's very metallic, but there's no glitters at all. And I really enjoyed that. I used it several times and it's great. Speaking of Ofra, I had also picked an Ofra blush, and that is this one, Mai Tai. This is in their old packaging, and I got this actually on clearance at Ulta 1 or 2 years ago when they were clearing out everything in the old packaging, but they do sell this in that new white packaging. I actually prefer this. It's easier to open and that white one is really bulky. But anyway, this is a really pretty, it's like a peachy orange, like sherbet looking blush. It's really pretty. I think I only used it a couple of times though, because I was pretty focused on my Project Pan blush. But yeah, I definitely enjoyed this. This is one of my favorite blushes. And if you want a very orange bright blush, this is it. I had actually picked 2 eyeshadow palettes. The first one was the Original Warrior by Juvia's. This one is really nice, and it's kind of what I call intense neutrals because these are really foiled and metallic. I used this palette several times, mostly in conjunction with other palettes, but I was wearing it alone in my 10 reasons not to shop the Sephora VIB sale video. I'll link that in the description box if you want to see that. It was a pretty simple, you know, kind of neutral gold look, but this is a really great palette. I really do need to use it more because, like I said, it's intense neutrals, which I definitely love. And yeah, the quality is great. I love Juvia's formula. I've said that about 1,000,000 times at this point. I'm really glad I got some use out of this palette because I think it had been many months before I had reached for it. The second palette I had was the Maybelline Lemonade Craze. I fell in love with this palette because of this Shop My Stash. I think before putting it in this Shop My Stash, I had only used it, I think 10 times ever, which is kind of sad because I'm pretty sure I've had this for like a year and a half or something. So that's very sad, but I'm really happy that I used it because I fell in love with it. I know some people kind of have mixed feelings on the Maybelline formula, and many years ago, I used to use their Maybelline quads all the time. It was my go-to eyeshadow. I mean, I'm talking like 10 years ago. And once I tried other brands, I just realized it's not that great of a formula. Therefore, I didn't buy any Maybelline eyeshadows for a really long time. But people were really raving about this, so I did purchase it. And then I barely used it, which is very sad. Which is why I'm glad I'm doing the Shop My Stash series, because I am in love with this palette. I think it is really beautiful. It kind of reminds me of the color story of the ColourPop Sweet Talk palette now that I'm looking at it, but I actually think I kind of like this better. I don't know, there's a bit more variety. You have this yellow, you have this peach shade, you have this coral. This shimmery pink is actually what's on my inner corners today. It's so nice. And these matte shades, I don't know. I think this is a really nice palette and I'm really happy I got use out of it. I don't think I took any pictures though. I forgot to do that, but beautiful. So happy I used it, and yeah, it's great. Alrighty, that is it for the recap. I actually used everything quite a bit, especially those eyeshadow palettes. I used a lot in conjunction with other palettes. I think the blush, I only used that 2 or 3 times, which is kind of a bummer because I do really enjoy that shade. But yeah, I loved everything in this Shop My Stash, and let's get into picking new products. Alrighty, we are in the lipstick drawer, and I did rearrange almost all of my drawers since my last Shop My Stash. Just something to keep myself entertained. I do want to pick a lipstick, and let's see here. Well, this one is Charlotte Tilbury Bitch Perfect. I do actually really like this color. I've said before, I don't know that it's worth the price, but I do like it. And then What's Your Sign by ColourPop. This I feel like I used recently. This was in a Project 10 uses, but this one is Layover, which I really like. This may be one of my favorite lipsticks ever, and I don't think I've used it in a while. I think I'm going with this. All right, here's the blush drawer, and I do think I want to pick a blush also. This is by Undone Beauty, a cream one. I really like that. This Milani Tea Rose, this is a favorite, and I don't think I've used this in a while either. Let's see. Another one by Milani I love. This one is Dolce Pink. This is one of their baked blushes. If you saw my recent declutter, I did get rid of my Anastasia blush kit, and I kept this one, and I actually do really like it. I haven't used that in a while. You know what? Let's go with the cream blush. This one was sent to me for review. I do really like it, and this brand is sold at Target. Here's my new highlighter organization. I really, really like it. I'm actually going to skip highlighter though this time because there's one in a project that I really need to work on. Back here are the bronzers, and I think I'm gonna go with a bronzer actually. Let's see, the Too Faced. I really do like this one. It's definitely one of my favorites. This is a newer one by ColourPop. This is called Coconut Beach. I've had this for about 2 months, and it's actually really nice. This is part of the Going Coconuts collection. A couple months ago, I did actually repurchase the Butter Bronzer, and this is my third one. I've finished 2 before, and I really truly missed it. An older one I really like is this one by Morphe in Icon. This is very similar to the Marc Jacobs one in the white packaging, and this one's fantastic. I think I'm gonna go with the Butter Bronzer because I got this one not that long ago, and I've been really wanting to use it. I've used it a couple times since I've repurchased it, but that's it. Alrighty, and here we have one of the reorganized eyeshadow palette drawers. I really like having them laying out like this. I think I just see them better, whereas before, I don't know, they were all kind of stacked, so when I opened the drawer, I couldn't really see them. I really, really like this. I do want to pick one palette. Last time I had 2 palettes, but I think I'm just gonna go with one. Lilac You A Lot. This is what I'm wearing in the beginning of this video. So pretty. I'm really glad that I used it. Going Coconuts. This one is fantastic. I've only used it like 3 or 4 times, but actually no, that's not true. I've used it a lot more than that, but yeah, really great. Another one in this drawer is the Sweet Talk palette. I got this one at the same time as the Going Coconuts, and I took out the glitter shades and I put in 2 colors from Dream Street because I tried those and they irritated my eyes so badly. But I have used this one quite a bit. I will say it looks less exciting without those glitter shades in there, but this one is quite nice, you know, peachy corals. Most recent palette is the Cocoa Blend by Zoeva, and I got this in Boxycharm. It's so good. I've really enjoyed it. I've only used it a couple of times, but this one would be nice to get more use out of. I think I'm actually gonna go with the Sweet Talk palette. And yeah, then this way I can use these 2 shades from Dream Street also, which I do really enjoy. And yeah, I think this is a good palette, but I think lesson learned, I don't want to buy any more ColourPop palettes with the pressed glitters. I avoided them for a long time, and now I know why. Alrighty, that is it for this Shop My Stash. I've got a palette, a bronzer, a lip product, and a cream blush. I'm actually very excited about that. And yeah, that is it. If you're interested, you can check out my Shop My Stash playlist, and thank you for watching.